Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. This is another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and today we are going to be talking about whether or not you should be pulling this week. That's going to be talking about the new Europa VC. We're also going to be talking about the Esper, and we're going to talk about the new and the old Final Fantasy XIV VCs, whether or not they're going to be worth it. Let's go ahead and dig in. I think before we jump really deep into this, the first thing you guys need to know is that probably you should not pull on the Europa Esper unless you are dying to put together an electric formation right now. And the reason I would say that is we have a lot of limited VCs coming out, and if there has been a limited VC that you do not have and you need, you are going to probably be able to get it in the next couple of weeks. Not to mention, we also have the new Final Fantasy XIV VC, which is limited, which also gives light units 35/ resistance penetration. That is probably going to be much more worth it long term. Light is a much more powerful element. A lot more people have it built than lightning. It's one of those situations where Europa, before we even get into discussing how great it is, because it is an amazing VC, the reality is it's permanent in the pool, and you're probably not going to want to pull for this. Now, what makes it so good if you do want to get it in the future? Mostly it's going to be good if you are going down the path of lightning magic. That's going to be Ibarra, that's going to be Renan, that's going to be potentially Skahal EX. Now, if you are someone who's going for Renan and Ibarra build, you probably know enough about what specific build you're setting up to grab this and set it in your kit. You probably have already decided, this is going to complement my kit well, this is what I'm going to sacrifice. You probably know more than anything I'm about to tell you about this VC and Esper. However, for the lay people out there, the lay moles, the Europa Esper is going to give 274 HP, 182 magic. What's really nice is it gives 3 agility as well. Magic plus 10%, HP plus 5% for the individual unit. There's going to be magic attack plus 35 for the party for lightning units. Agility plus 8% for the party for lightning units. And it's going to give critical damage plus 25 for lightning units as well. So all around a very powerful VC. Taking a look at the Esper as well. Going to have really high AP at 43. Going to have some really high magic at 116. And other than that, we got some really high dexterity. So it is going to be a magic-based lightning Esper. Taking a look at the skill tree here, you can see, of course, lightning attack is going to be the direction you're going to want to go. You can hit magic attack as well. What's nice is it does have missile resistance, and it also has pierce resistance as well. So if either of those things are something that you're focused on, you can build that up if maybe you want to go an anti-Jaden build. We also have the extra TP here, which I've never been in a situation where I've needed like a ton of extra TP before, but it is here if you want it. I suppose it is a nice kind of drop in the bucket for you. Let's talk about the VC that is probably more on everybody's minds right now, and that's going to be the new Final Fantasy XIV VC. This thing is a whopper. It's coming in at HP 362, attack 146, agility 3 as well, which is really good. The individual light unit that can equip this is going to be getting 10% attack. It's also going to be getting dark resistance plus 10, and it's going to be getting critical hit rate down 5, which is really not a bad negative on a VC. Now, party-wide, you're going to get slash resistance penetration plus 35 for light units. You're also going to get increases HP 13%. And on top of all of that, you're going to get a chonky magic resistance 20%. Now, because it's an attack-based VC, you're not going to be able to set this directly on Elena, but if you are someone who ever runs light slash compositions, if you're someone who is planning on running light slash in the future, this is a VC that you must get. If you're someone who's trying to be competitive in PvP, this is going to be a VC that you must get. If you are planning on building a light VC composition with double VCs, this is a VC you're going to have to get. If there are a list of all the limited VCs right now that you could get, this would probably be rated up there in the top in terms of me recommending to get this. Light Slash has always been out there as one of the best compositions, sort of, or kind of one of those compositions that always comes back and comes around. We have Rob, who'll be getting a secondary mastery here in the near future. We also have Summer Kilfay. We have Elena. We have Violet coming out in the future. We have Locke, who's going to be given for free. Like, Light Slash is going to consistently be getting more power just kind of as we go over the next couple of months. If you are on the fence about this, if you don't know, just think, this is your only opportunity to get this VC. If light is your element that you're building and it costs 10k Visio to get this VC, even if you have to slow build it, potentially, this is going to be worth it for you. This will probably be worth it for you. Very similarly, if you are someone who missed out on the Scions VC back in the day, this is going to be a very powerful VC and is the bread and butter of light compositions. It's going to be essentially giving dark resistance up to the individual unit, dark resistance to the party-wide light units, and it's going to be giving light attack plus 35 to the party. This sucker is amazing for multiple reasons. Mainly because it's really good if you're running light comps against dark formations. It has both attack and magic on it, so it can universally be applied whether you like. There are very few VCs in the game that are universal, that can go on any unit basically for light element, right? This is one of those VCs that's universal. The one drawback with this VC though is that this VC has never had a 10k pity before. I believe it cost me 40k plus Visior to actually pull this previously. I do not regret that. This has been one of those VCs that I waited to re-release and I pulled very hard for. And this is going to continue to be one of the best light VCs in the game. Combine this with the last Final Fantasy XIV VC, which is also going to give you magic resistance 20%, right? Party wide. You're going to be in a good position against anything dark and magical. That's going to be Golbez. That's going to be Black Rose Helena. It's just going to be kind of a monstrosity of a combination. So if you're in that situation where you're looking ahead and you're looking at kind of the Final Fantasy XIV VCs and you're wondering, should I be getting these? Should I be pulling on these? I would ask yourself kind of some fundamental questions. They would be, you know, do you have Bahamut first? Do you have Bahamut's VC max? Do you have Bahamut? Do you have a good selection of light espers, light VCs already? Do you have limited time light element units? Do you have Elena is probably the most important question to ask with both of these VCs in mind. Do you plan on building Violet or Locke in the future to kind of capitalize on Light Slash? What are your goals for Light in the future? Are you going to be getting ready for Yuna's second mastery when it does come out down the road? There's a lot of things to kind of ask yourself on whether or not you need these. Scions, I would actually say, if it doesn't have a 10k, don't pull on it right now because there's a lot of good things coming out in the future. Particularly Celeste is very powerful with her runic ability. But if you get a 10k for the new Final Fantasy XIV VC, I would pull it in a heartbeat. I am planning on pulling that sucker as soon as it goes live. Unless it's not on it. Like, even if it's, oh man, if it was not on a 10k, the worst thing they could do is not give us a VC or give us a VC that's not on a 10k. And I'm scared they're going to do that with Scions again. And I'm scared a lot of people are going to waste their Visior chasing Scions, and then Final Fantasy VI is going to come around and they're going to be screwed. So you kind of have to weigh, are you going to build light? Are you going to lean into Celeste a little bit? Are you going to be potentially looking at Persona 5 in the future? Are you maybe going to go for that dark composition in the future? Are you maybe going to try and counter the dark meta in the future, right? We do know that Joker is going to be coming out, that Leela is going to be coming out as well. Both of them dark units, both of them very powerful anti-light units. So it's absolutely very possible you may want to start preparing to counter the dark meta. There's a lot of things going on right now, and it's easy to get kind of sucked up into like, oh my God, like all of the anniversaries, all the banners from all the previous Final Fantasies are coming back. Like, it's really easy to lose sight of your account, what's going on in the future, how you're preparing. There's a new GL exclusive coming around the corner that we know about. We don't know when, we don't know what element, but we do know there's one coming around the corner. I think the safest bet right now would be the pull for the new Final Fantasy XIV VC. If you are someone who's going to invest heavily in light, I would say pull for Scions. If not, you know, probably count on not using light in the future. I think with the prevalence of Joker, with the prevalence of Leela, if you don't have Scions for your light element composition, I think dark is probably going to completely wreck you. I could see that being a distinct possibility into the future. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. I hope this video was helpful. I'm kind of curious what you guys are thinking in regards to whether you should pull. If anyone's going to ask if they should pull Thanker, the answer is no. But have a great rest of your day.